okay, sorry. Okay. Do you know the meaning of the song and the context of the song? Say. Proceed. It happened several years ago. I attended a pranic selling workshop. You have heard of pranic selling, no? That is, you talk about Annamaya Kosha, several layers of the kosha we're talking about. There's a subtle body and that's energized. Okay? It is exactly like this. Pranic healing is a process that is going through. These are all curtain raisers. These are not something that Abhustamba talked about at all. Thank God. Save you. It's not that at all. These are all subsequent innovation. Each of them has some meaning. In each of them, what is the purpose of each of this? To bring the immediate family together. This is the mama, mommy, and since a lot of people around you, and some do show their capability in singing or not singing, and all that. And then that's pranic healing. One more thing that is done, do you know that? You showcase a prospective group. Ask a brahmachari to do that. You shouldn't ask a 7-year-old boy to do it. You should bring one of those fellows wanting to go away because he has not got married yet. You should ask one of those boys to do the brahmachari so that people, that boy is there. Rank clear item. So that is the idea. Okay. Now, do you know the story behind it? Okay, I'll tell you the story. There was a Gandharva lady. She did a tapas to Ambad. Ambad and Brahma, dangerous life. They come, you never know what that person is going to ask. So, especially Brahma actually doesn't care. He is in the business of giving. Somebody else is in the business of handling. So he can give anything and go get away with that. So, very nice kind of job description. Okay? So Ambal comes and that lady says, you should be born as my daughter. Having come, he only said, done, and goes away. So, that is Kanchanamala. Do you understand the point? That Gandharva lady is born as Kanchanamala. Anybody from Madurai here? Good. I have to ask 7 questions. Be careful. Okay.
We are living in Chennai, so.
Doesn't matter. They are all related to Madurai. Yes.
No, Kanchana, the Gandharva
lady
asked Parvati to be her daughter.
Not Parvati. Straight away Ambal. Somebody asked Parvati. Parvati Syapatyam Kumar. Sri. Whatever you called her. He prayed to the Ambal and then you should be born as my daughter.
She wanted her to be born as...
Exactly. She wanted Ambal to be born as her daughter. So for that she has to come down. So she came down and Kanchanamala. She came down with Kanchanamala. There is a Pandya king called Malayadwaja Pandya. She married Malayadwaja Pandya. I think Ambal must have forgotten. For a long time they had no children at all. And then a daughter was born. Who was the daughter? Meenakshi. Meenakshi was brought up as a tomboy. She learned this, all that she learned. And not only that, not theory inside the palace compound. She went on a yatra, Digvijayam, and she conquered everybody on the way, reached all the way to Kailash. When he reached all the way to Kailash, Paramashiva thing into that, he came to fight that Kadi, and Paramashiva conquered. Rajinikanth, Paramashiva, they never lose. So he conquered Meenakshi, and there is a prediction. She was born with a 3rd nipple, that will disappear, then you know who is the person that you are going to marry. So both of them travelled back all the way from Kashi, down to Madurai, all the way they travelled. In the meantime, Malayadwaja Pandyan died. Okay? So, Kanchanamala was there, the mother was there. The Meenakshi and Paramashivan came all the way to Madurai. Who did the Kanyadana? Where is that Madurai lady? Please come over here. Very good. first first was, okay, what happens on Chitra Purnami day in Madurai? எதுக்காக இறங்குறேன்? Exactly. So, no. And in every one of this, our episodes, our rituals, it's a beautiful legend behind it. We foolishly not understanding any of them. It's important to understand that. When, multiple songs. Padmanabha Sodari. Lalita Sahasranama has a name for Ambal, talking about, what is the name? Is it everybody's big scholar here?
They have forgotten for the time being.
Lalita Sahasranama has a name talking about Padmanabha Sodari or something of that kind. Okay, so Jeshta Brada Pitru Samanaha. So what when the father is not there, Jeshta Brada should do. So Kanchanmala, Meenakshi Jeshta Brada is Mahavishnu. So they said, Adagar is the right person. They told him that you should go on Karingada. The man also agreed. Adagar also agreed. Unfortunately, he missed the wedding day. He came 2 days later. So fortunately, there was another local Adagar was available. He did the Karingada. 2 days later, this man came, elaborate serial, said this, that, saris, all that he brought, and somebody has to face him because he's coming all the way there. So the local Adagar came, meets him on Chitra Purnami day in Vaigai. If you notice, he will not cross the Vaigai river and enter Madurai at all. He delivers the seed and goes back feeling very angry. So we go there, see Adagar, take this thing, share on WhatsApp. Very good. But on top of that, for heaven's sake, try and understand what is there behind that ritual. What is there behind this? There's so many things that, Smarta, Vaishnava, divide is all that is absolute nonsense. And you understand all that. So that is the point. That's the point number one. Second point is, now it's again faded from people's mind. Long Kanchanamala celebrate. He participates in the function. In that swing ceremony, Kanchanamala, the widowed mother of Meenakshi, is standing in the front and they are describing. Kanchanamala is feeling happy about her daughter's wedding. Now everybody has forgotten. Maybe 20-30 years ago, this died in the whole, conservative people will make it a point and go all over the mandapam. If there are any widows, they will invite them. Please come and do Asirvad. Do you understand the point? So that is what I like about this particular episode is there's no elimination at all. There's no seclusion. They requested to come and participate.
Question.
I have a question, yes.
I have one question.
Yes.
Regarding the Malayadvaja Pandyan. Does it have any connection with that, Harikeshwar Nitya Bhavara, there's a Kriti called Mate.
Okay.
Malayadvaja Pandyan, right? Is it the same?
Yes. I don't know. What does the Kriti say?
Malayadvaja Pandyan.
Yes. He is talking about Meenakshi.
Okay.
He is talking about Meenakshi. So he understands Meenakshi is Malayadvaja Pandyan's daughter.
Oh, I see.
I say he's merely talking about.
It's the same thing.
No, he's referring to the same. It's the same episode. Sorry. Correct. This is something I haven't learned at all. Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, enter. Vagdanam, tak. Pradhanam, Varanam, Panipedanam, Saptapadihi, Iti Panchangaha Vivagaha Parikirtitaha. This is, none of you ever asked me that question. Where is all this sourced? It's a safe answer. When you used to have Manakanaka in school, we'll put 0 for all the 10. There will always be one question for it, 0 will be the answer. So you'll get away. At least you'll get 1 out of 10, not 0. Okay, that is the, especially in our tradition where the 0 was invented. So it's very important for us to do that. So Vedas is a very safe answer. Who said the answer? Good. Who said that? Okay. Now, Vedas, yes.
I was under the understanding that there was no process. They said, okay, I'll get married to this girl, and they started living together. But only after the Mughals came or something, or I don't know, before that, or I don't know, they just started living together, and suddenly this guy left. So there needs to be a contract. That's when they had this agreement.
Vedas contain, Rigveda contain a detailed description of the wedding of Savita, Surya's daughter, with Soma. So there is a description of the wedding in Vedas. Okay, long Vedas, that's where it is. It is there in Rigvedam as well as Samaveda. So if you look at it in terms of format of the wedding, there is no explanation, no detailing at all. A simple description of the wedding at that point in time. So that is there. Okay, so that's nothing. This is maybe.
Mangalyadharanam probably was.
Exactly. I am coming to that. Mangalyadharanam. We kind of anticipated that. Then there is something called, if you Giri, can you go to the very last slide? Or is it a problem for you to go up and down? Absolutely last slide. Okay. Now we have our Vedas. Vedas ordain our duties. They belong to 2 things. One is doing yajna vityadikam. Another is the 16 samskaras. How do you, Veda is really, you can consider it a poetic outburst of the rishis. They were not looking for a structure. Whatever they, in fact, rishis are not called mantra kartas. They are called mantra drishtaraha because they are apurusheya, timeless. In fact, in the context of writing some other book, I went through Daivatyanukulam multiple times. Even by mistake, Paramacharya would never mention a date for Vedas. They are all convinced, because our own concept of time is cyclical. Do you understand my point? If time is cyclical, time is linear, it's possible for you to put a date. If it is cyclical, it's impossible for you to put a date unless you are dating and then saying of this cycle or something like that. Do you understand my point? So, Vedas, then you have this Yajna Mityadikam, and then the Samskaras, 16 Samskaras. Vedas are impossible to interpret. Okay? They are the outburst of rishis. So they are there, they are not even structured. They are not edited. They are just scattered all over the place. So you need something to understand Vedas. Grihya Sutras handle the samskara portion of the Vedas. They tell you, for example, they say these are the 16 samskaras. The samskaras, you do know when it starts? Pre the birth of a person. Simanda Unnayana samskara to Anteyashti, there are at least 16 major samskaras. There are people who talk about more than that also. So these samskaras, it's like, when we were kids, we used to go to Konar notes for understanding Tamil. So the Grihya Sutras are the Konar notes for Vedas. They are structured material. What they will do is recite Purusha Suktam. They will not repeat Purusha Suktam there. You go and take Purusha Suktam there. And so that's what it is. So if you look at what is the source for all this, you actually go to Grihya Sutras. From Grihya Sutras, will refer to the, for example, my book is written substantially based on Yajurveda. Grihya Sutras will refer to Yajurvedam, this Kantam, this Adhyayam, this Mantra. Do you understand my point? So, Apastamba was written a Grihya Sutra. When you do Abhivadhyaya Samarutha Pranadarshaka, Abatsamba Sutra Idishyagatyayi. You are saying, I belong to, I have said, I mean, this, unfortunately, every time you are doing Abhudayam, you are uttering a lie. Yajushyagatyai means I have studied Yajurvedam, and Apastamba is my Grihya Sutrakara. I follow Apastamba Sutra. So, there are other Sutrakaras. So, these Sutrakaras have codified all this and say this is what it is. This way. Shauta Samskaras. Oh. Okay. That is wrongly worded that. Grihya Sutras, like Apastama Sutra, that is Homadikam. This is, I'm sorry. On Shauta Samskara itself, which is mind so anyone, Grihya Sutra is good. In addition, there is a description of Soma and Surya wedding that kind of gives a template. Okay, you can go back. So where were we? Okay. Now that the previous thing, couple of things. Phrase. This is the definition of. Go back. This is the definition of wedding that is given. Common to all the Grihya Sutras, namely Vagdanam, Pradhanam, Varanam, Panipedanam, Saptapiti, Iti Panchangaha, Vivaha, Parikitya. You understand? Okay. Do you notice anything about it?
There is no Mangalita.
There is no Mangalita. What you see as a signal for going and having your lunch is not there at all. In the original text, Mangalidharanam is not there at all. We'll come to it later. These are the Panchangaha Vivagaha. Now let's see what they are. This is, any question? This is, Vagdanam is when these boys come and ask, Dharma Prajartam Vrinimehe, he says, Dasyami, Dasyami, Dasyami. Okay? He says, I give, I give, I give. That is the first, they have covered it under the head engagement. That is the first part of the 5 parts of the wedding. That's the first part of the wedding. He also says, can you hear me? He says, I give. He explains the purpose behind giving it. Now, he says, so that I can sit. Dashanam Purvesham, Dashanam Paresham, Atmanashcha Eka Vimshati Kulottarana Dwara, Nitya Niradeshaya Ananda Shashvada Brahmaloka Avaptyatam, Mahavishnu Prityatam, Dasyami, Dasyami, Dasyami. He says, I will reach Brahmaloka because of doing this Kanyadana. Not only me, Dashana Purvesham, the 10 generations before me, Dashana Aparesham, 10 Paresham, 10 after me, Atmanashcha, Eka Vimshati Kulottarana Dwara, Nitya Niradeshaya Ananda Shashvata Brahmaloka Prapti. That kind of permanent Brahmaloki Praptyatam, Dasyami, Dasyami is what he says. So the first point, the first part of the 5 is Vagda. Okay, next. What is Pradhanam? There's something called Pravaram. I'll have to finish it quickly. There's something called Pravaram. Do you know what Pravaram is? In the case of Pravaram, lineage, you will see that happening. Next time you go for a wedding, try and see what's happening. Okay, some of it you will recognize. you will have the Purohit on the groom side, standing up and reciting the Gotrams and names of 3 generations of ancestors. Then the groom side, the bride side will do. And not only that, they will not do it once, they will do it thrice. What is the purpose of the Pravaram recitation?
So that they'll remember the names.
One of them is, there is some prescription in terms of what marriages are permissible. So this narration will show, for example, they are not Sagotram or things of that kind. There is something called Pinda Bandhu is also written. If they give Pandam, which means maternal cousins are also not, though unfortunately Tamil cinema spreads this idea of maternal cousins getting married. Maternal cousins are not supposed to get married. So that's the Pinda restriction. This is a Gotra restriction. So when this recitation takes place, it's understood it's permissible marriage is one point. There's something more fundamental than that. I kind of accidentally stumbled on it. Finger cut case study. There is some kind of a finance company in the US. They had the quota of 4% bad debts or something. They were trying to figure out, identify what kind of borrowers do not default. So they did a standard analysis. The standard analysis included things like the debt as a percentage of the income. Do you understand? Right. Second, whether the spouse was also an earning member or not. Third, the purpose of the loan. Whether they got a loan for building a house or they got a loan for going on a holiday. Things of that kind. So they taken a look at 5 or 6 factors. They had a huge database, analyzed it, nothing like a pattern emerged. In each of those categories, where the man was only, or the woman was only breadwinner, there also the bad debt rate was 4%. Where both the spouse and were employed, there also the proportion. They also took a proportion of the loan amount to total income, it is 4%. They also looked at the duration of the loan and this as 2 combined factors under it. They are also 4%, 3.5%. Nothing like a strong emerging pattern emerged. Then they did what is called a vanilla ice cream analysis. Vanilla ice cream analysis is, you forget about logic, completely unrelated factors, you trace it to the target result. For example, whether people who borrow money on Monday repay better than people borrow money on Tuesday. So you take the data borrowing, this, that, all kinds of factors for which you cannot directly fit a relationship. You do that and do an analysis. And the pattern emerged. That's everywhere. People who borrowed on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all of them, the bad debt percentage remained at 4% or something. There's only one factor for which suddenly they found, while for the rest of the category, the bad debt rate was 4%, for this one category, the bad debt was really close to 0. What they found was people who had a middle name or were conscious of that middle name. Say John Maynard Keynes, and not merely John Keynes. People with a middle name stuck to their promise and there were no bad debts. Can you divine the underlying force? They saw themselves as a bead in the string. If I am defaulting, I am not defaulting just myself and bringing a bad name for myself. I am bringing a bad name for the entire answer. Very good perceptive answer. So, this fingerhead case study showed anybody who is conscious of his middle name, who sees himself as a bead in the string, who sees himself as the scion of a line of family will go to an extra length in performing his performance, duties. Okay? So that is the discovery of the fingerhead history. Can you relate it with this? Pravaram is not that I marry you. It goes beyond that. It is two families coming together. It is more than that. You are talking about 3 generations of the two families coming together. Do you understand the kind of heaviness of that commitment? Pravaram, say, when you recite the Pravaram, you are not saying Ramachandra marriage to Krishnaveni or something of that kind. It goes far beyond that. That the two families are coming together. And what are these two families? These are the members of the two families. To me, I think that is something that should be understood. It's a very important aspect of our wedding ritual. Yeah, next. Kanyadana, that's where I mentioned that Ekavanshidi Uttanadvara. Okay. Mangalya Dharanam is not there in the original prescription. It's just not there. So I just went through a research to find out how far it goes back. That is what you need. If you have a certain knowledge of Sanskrit, if you have a certain awareness in terms of what we can do, to me it's a burden. I almost think it as a duty to do what is within our capability. Okay, because if you miss it, we have missed it forever. So I went and dug a little. I only looked at literary evidence. I didn't go far beyond that. One of the things that we know is Harichandra Chandramati story. You know that story. It's again 2 people fight, somebody else pays the price. Vasishtha and Vishwamitra finally is there in the burial garden. She brings, what is the son's name? Lohita. She brings the body for cremation. She says, I have no money. Then Harichandra says, your tali is there, why don't you give it? Okay? And then she realized that's Harichandra. Okay, because you know the story also. When he comes to the Swayamvaram, everybody is sitting there, and this man Harichandra says, what is this? She's already married. And they say, look here, you're the guy. Because somebody told us, if you recognize it, you are the guy, they get married. So, in Harichandra's story, as the way that is narrated by Veeraragava Kavi, the Thirumangalayam is an important role. It is there in the Swayamvaram, it is there in the final scene also. And again, you know, our legends get narrated, re-narrated, told in multiple languages. So you can or say, Harichandra's time there is Mangaladharam. Veeraragava Kavi wrote it in 1584 Common Era. It was released in Tirunelveli or something. So we know 1524, that is about 500 years ago, Mangaladharam was in practice for Veeraragava Kavi to have incorporated in his story. Maybe 500, 600 years ago, Mangaladharam was there. Next is Vedanta Desika. Shubha Pranada Bhavati Shrutina Kanteshu Vaikantapadem Varana Padnasi Nunam Manipada Rakshe Mangalya Sutram Manirashmi Jale. This, you know the story. Somebody came and challenged Vedanta Desika. How can they call you Kavi? You have not done any Kavya. He said, I also agree. I think they should not call me Kavi. But other people say, you should not let it go like that. You should do something. So, can you do something overnight or something other kind? He Aram se went to sleep. Desika Aram se went to sleep. And Narayan was very worried. This bugger is sleeping. What happens? So we wakes him up in the middle of the night. Hey, please do something or that. That other Kavi who challenged him said, I will do something on Narayana or something. He said, why Narayana? I will do something on the Paduka. And he recites this 1000 names in Paduka Sakasram. Entirely addressed to Manipaduke. There is not one word about poor Narayana. The whole thing is about the Paduka of Narayana. In this he talks about Mangali. Okay, Vedanta Desika, how when was he born?
700.
Huh?
750 years.
Yeah, at least that we know. At least some time ago we knew Ramanuja was 1,000 years because all these things took place recent time. So we know. So 750 years ago, there was Mangalita. Next. First the you obviously recognize where it is from. Tirupavai. Yadava Tirupavai.
Says that.
Okay. Do you recognize the voice?
Malalattam.
Second is Malavakanna. First is Navalpakam Ranganathan. Brilliant combination. You have done something like you don't have to do anything else. Malavakanna is somebody very well known to me. Understands the language, understands the ritual. He's not based in Silupattu but comes and performs. For my daughter's wedding, Malavakanna was a Purohit. Okay. Here, will you replay the first part? Kisi kisen deyane chatan. She is talking about all the various noises. Oh, don't you hear? Come on. Then we talk about Kasum Pirappum Kalagalappa Kaipethu. Does anybody know what it is? Anybody from Telugu community here? Baipudu Adaro. Yeah, what is Kasum Pirappum? Yeah. In the Thali, there are two parts. The mother's family and the mother-in-law's family will give two portions. What is called Kasum?
It's the rupu, the sati part.
Okay. Pirappu, what does it look like?
The connecting thread.
Okay. So, these, in fact, niece of mine married a Telugu family, so I had some exposure. Kasum Perappum Kalagalappa Kaipethu, when they are doing this in the morning for churning the curd, then the Kasu and Pirappu, they brush against each other and there is a tingling noise that is heard. So, Kasum Perappum Kalagalappa Kaipethu Vasana Rangovishna Nachiyar Mattina Taira Ravam Kettidiyo. Yes, Giri. You can go to the text. So, Tirupavai is 885 CE. Who told me that it is 885 CE? I'm supposed to be from Radhamani Vamsam, Shadamasha Gotra. The point is something like this. We need have the kind of scientific objectivity that the Western world has towards its heritage. The desire to document it also. Both are required. Hey, ours is such an ancient civilization. Also bullshit. You should know where we are. One area where we are able to provide a dating is where the religious history crosses the political history. You will get a reasonably good dating. Where does the crossing take place? Periyada went to whom? There's a religious history, there's a political history. Do you understand the point? So this is one thing. Another thing, astronomical. Mahabharatam can be dated to a day. Do you know that? Mahabharatam can be dated to a day with great degree of precision because you don't have to know too much. You need know elementary episodes. You know, you have heard that story about Duryodhana goes to whom for fixing the date? Huh? Sahadeva. And Sahadeva does his job. I am a professional, I'll do my job. So he fixes a date which is perfect for Kaurava. Start this on that day. Everybody is lost. What is this bugger doing? Doing something like that. Then that has been done on this particular day. Krishna gets up in the morning, a day earlier, and starts doing tarpana. Everybody is stuck. Tomorrow is Amavasya. This man is doing tarpanam today. Maybe he is going on outside duty. You can't say all that to Krishna. If it's Krishna, you can't ignore it. So, Amavasya, who are the people concerned? The sun and the moon. They are all very panicked. They come, Krishna, what is this? You are doing one day in advance. I said, what's the problem? What is Amavasya? When Surya and Chandra are in alignment, it's Amavasya. You come here. Today is Amavasya. Okay, that's what Krishna with all his usual smartness gets away. And the next day also is Amavasya. Then there is purely astronomy. You don't have to go into anything religious at all. In so many thousand years, you have Amavasya in 2 successive days or something like that. Okay? Something like that could occur in so many. So you could say Mahabharata was 5,000 years ago, or 8,000 years ago, or 21,000 years ago. Then, you know Vishwa waiting for